I have been nothing but raped by slaves here who somehow were sent to America for no reason, as far as I can see. I guess they just don't want them in their country anymore. Not to mention all the cops and doctors and school teachers that I had and my classmates. Every single one of them were involved in trying to turn me into homosexual or transgender. That's called rape. That's sexual harassment. Since I got to this country, including it started in the UK and hasn't stopped since. And they were like convinced that they could turn a person homosexual, and I was even forced to kiss somebody that I didn't like, had nothing to do with, because they said they would stab me if I didn't, and they forced me to drink and do that. But at the same time, I haven't agreed with those kids anymore. They're still stalking me, and they end up just stealing from me because they couldn't stab me or whatever. Like, I don't know what's wrong with these kids. Apparently a lot of people have told me that's kind of what they expect with public school kids. But I'm like, so are you saying like everyone who lives in that income level are like that? I'm like, yeah. I don't know, but it makes no sense. I'm like, yeah, it's everybody who goes to public school is like that. And I'm like, okay, it doesn't make sense. Why I still went to public school and I wasn't like that? And they're like, that's probably why everyone was targeting it, because they would find out about the fact that they had number one, they had no reason to do the things that they're doing just because they go to public schools, excuse it. And they had no legitimate reason as to why they made one like than the other person. They're just born into it. They're very lucky to have financially stable parents and who actually cared about their social environment, which is why they made more money than the other people who didn't care about that kind of stuff. That's the only reason. They really change who they are. But that responsible aspect is what caused them to have more money. And I was like, no way. I'm thinking, like, I lost my tweezers and my scissors and stuff, but I don't know if I should record because I don't trust the police anymore. I don't think I'm going to. I'm just gonna completely exclude them, and I'm gonna forget about it. As in, like, I'm not gonna consider it to be something that's worth my time to be chasing after. I don't think it's worth it. I'm like, fuck this shit. I would love to report to the police, but after what I've seen, again, people try to excuse it by saying that's why we don't deal with the police. That's why we don't like ever use public services, because they all get like that. I'm like, it feels like they're forcing you not to use your services because they're literally leeching off you. Which is why a lot of people left, because they couldn't live like that anymore. But anyway, yeah, that was like the problem. And I was like, yeah, the same people who are still stalking me, who are getting the cops involved, with the cops who are also public school raised, also raised by television and public schools, ended up just ganging up on me and going along with what they're saying and harassing me incessantly and stealing from me. Just like what a bunch of 10-year-olds were doing, and the teachers who were teaching those 10-year-olds. Yeah. A group of adults, full-grown men in particular, were teaching a bunch of little children how to steal and lie and cheat. A group of adults. They're fully grown. They were paid for by the government of the taxpayers to teach children how to read and write, instead taught them how to lie, cheat, and steal, and go to prison. They taught them how to go to prison. I don't know why they would do that. And one of my 6th grade teachers, who was very adamant on all the kids being bad because he was sexually attracted to children, He was a black man, and he was sort of sprouted some bullshit about how everyone was racist, which is why he couldn't get a good job or whatever. I actually don't know how much money he had. He actually ended up trying to convince me that I was transgender and that I needed to like go see a doctor about my transgender issues, and started to talk to other doctors about me, which weren't even true, which is actually more valuable for him than it was for me. And then he started to stalk me after I stopped being his student. And then he was like, if the TV crew even came by to do a news report on him, he was boring me to tears. It was that bad. And then, yeah, his name was Mr. Bombery. I forget his first name. And his friend was Mr. Walker. There was another woman named Mrs. Walker who was teaching at the same school. Weird, right? And then, it's nasty. See, I was like, this is disgusting. What the fuck is that shit? And then, it's dog food. It's literally dog food. And then, he did this, which is tell everyone what a horrible person I was. Because I was bored in his class all the time. I was only there because I was supposed to learn the material from him. Right? Like, he wrote out word for word what the material was, but I was so bored. Oh my god. He was talking so much crap. He was blaming me for everything. And every single lesson, he made it like his goal to make sure everyone hated me. Yeah, that's what he was saying. He's like, it's because I was Chinese. That's what he said too. And I was like, you're saying that people are racist against you, and now people need to hate me because I'm Chinese. Now everyone's gotta lie, cheat, steal, and be racist. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I'm literally, like, what, I was in 6th grade, so I'm like 12, and I already know that. I'm literally a 12-year-old child who knows better than this guy. And I'm like, how is that even possible? Like, how are you even hiring this guy to teach here? Like, you don't think people are gonna get pissed that they're wasting their money? They're paying you taxes, for God's sake, for you to be able to hire these people to educate kids so they don't end up stealing from their stores or harassing their employees or their family members or their friends, or actually assaulting them in public. And now your great idea was to hire a bunch of retards to work as police officers. So in the case that that does happen, they just get so scared that they end up trying to kill the victim, because then that means the crime is not really a crime. Or something. Like, are you that stupid or something? Like, are you retarded? Like, yeah, that was a goal? That was your plan all along, is just to ruin the economy because you couldn't make that much money? What a bunch of morons. Anyway, another thing that I don't understand, which is, why do my bangs not go the right direction? Oh my god, it's bothering me. Also, yeah. I just don't understand why he was sexually attracted to me, a child, a 12-year-old child. I'm fucking 12 years old, and he's like, yeah, we gotta get married. And he was like interfering with everyone that I knew. Any guy within my vicinity that he could get his hands on would just harass him incessantly, to the point where they were like, holy shit, what the fuck, leave me alone. I'll stay away from her if you just leave me the fuck alone, you crazy son of a bitch. And then he started to call everyone racist because nobody liked him because he was doing that. He's insane. He's literally insane. And people here were trying to convince me that there was something wrong with me because I was creepy. That's why the foster family's kid had problems, and I was like, kids don't have problems because of how you treat them. I mean, that will cause probably a lot of stress, maybe some sort of like disorder of some sort if it is continuing and lasting or whatever. I don't think so, honestly. I don't think the way you treat a kid has anything to do with that, other than like for that short period of time. right? And they're like, yeah, it was because you were being creepy. That's why she cried all the time. This is the cops, by the way. They're mentally retarded. And I'm like, I get that you have your own opinions and speculations about how things have happened, but it's evident that that's not what that happened. What has happened. It's really obvious that's not what that is. Especially since you know what she's like now. It makes sense that she was like that when she was a kid. Yeah, that's Susan's kid. Obviously, they're gonna be really, really similar. Cause that's her child. And it was obvious to everyone. They're like, yeah, you don't even look related. I'm like, cause we're not. It's not my mom. That's not my dad either. They kidnapped me because they didn't want anyone else to have me because they thought that they were better than everyone. It was insane. So many people here are like that too because they're slaves. They're slaves, okay? A bunch of Chinese slaves called Chinks, okay? Came to America to try to make a better life for themselves or whatever they said. And then a bunch of terrorists joined in and tried to like the Jews. Terrorists, they joined in and they're like, we can never make enough money because we're all criminals. Every single one of us is a dysfunctional criminal. And we're also completely mentally ill. They're criminally insane. Okay, they're mentally ill and they're criminally insane. The Jews are terrorists, okay? They're terrorists. And then the Chinese people are just lazy and completely ignorant. They don't need it. They don't understand anything, these Chinese slaves. I'm sure the Chinese scholars, and I don't think they are they're lazy. The Chinese people are lazy. Apparently the Indians are too, but I think they're just faking it so that people stop asking them for help. But I've seen them steal a lot here, so I'm like, I don't really know. I think they like to take advantage of other people, honestly. So there's that. I'm just really tired, honestly, of like them blaming me for things. I'm like, do you guys have schizophrenia or something? Like, are you going through psychosis? You're telling me I'm solely responsible for why your life turned out poorly. Because I was actively doing what you're doing, which is interfering, spreading rumors, like lying to other people, like absolutely doing nothing for society. You know, not helping anyone, not even trying to like be nice to people, nothing like that. Like that's what I was doing. I wasn't even showing up to work or doing my job. That's what I was doing, right? This is weird. Oh my god. Ugh. I don't know why they even bother telling me how they feel because I don't care. I literally don't care. And also, I don't trust that girl. She has a fake butt and she has a bunch of bags from Zara. I think she stole it. Yeah, I think she stole a bunch of stuff from Zara. I'm like, you're taking the subway and you went to shop at Zara? Yeah, it doesn't make sense. And you have a fake butt? Yeah, I think she stole. Doesn't make sense. That's not cute. But yeah, yeah, a lot of Chinese people learn how to speak Korean. They don't actually speak Korean. They can learn how to speak conversational Korean. So they can tell people that they're Chinese, not Chinese, but Korean. And same with Japanese. There are a lot of weeaboos, except they're not white, they're Chinese. They like even change their last names and everything. But then no one can tell, and I was like, people can tell that's not what Japanese people look like, and that's what they do. Not Japanese. This is weird. I was like, it's just weird. And they're like, oh, I don't like who I am as a person, so my solution isn't to actually make something or do something to actually solve those problems as to why I don't like myself, but instead try to convince everyone else I'm somebody else, and then they all have to believe in my lies. Otherwise, I'm gonna hurt them. Like, yeah, I get, you know what? Kids, like, from bad homes who have behavioral issues, they do that when they're like 7 or 8. Yeah. They do that all the time. Kids, like, if you've ever been in an elementary school or been around kids, they're like 7 to 10 years old. They do that all the time, especially if their parents are either divorced, they come from single parent families, or they're not in contact with their extended family members, or their parents are very poor, so they have little to no resources. That's what that means. Like no resources, and they don't have very like they're not very smart either. So they have no way to acquire resources, have no resources, even though everything's fine for them. Or like they have mental illnesses, or they have genetic problems. Like those kids are the ones who do that kind of stuff all the time. But most of them, typically they grow out of it as they get older. For whatever reason, people here they didn't grow out of it. I don't know why. You know, people are like, yeah, I used to do stupid stuff when I was a kid. I learned my lesson now. Like I don't really do that anymore. Like it's kind of weird. Like, I'm so ashamed to talk about it now. But it's like, yeah, you realize that, like probably like a year later. You know, like you're like, oh my god, I feel so stupid for doing that when I was 8. When you're 9 years old, right? Like, and then you're like, and you're 10, and then you turn 11. Like, wow, I can't believe I used to like that kind of stuff. So childish now. Like this. People don't realize, oh my god, I can't believe I did something stupid when I was 15. And they're like 55. Like, that's retarded. Who like says like, oh, I'm so sorry about doing that stupid shit when I was like 15 years old. Can you forgive me? And they're like 55, and I'm like, that's a movie. But you think they're gonna like, you're gonna wait 40 years to apologize to someone, and you're still gonna have a job and all that kind of stuff? That's not how that works, sweetie. You're gonna either end up dead on the streets or in prison, like Michael and Justin. Yeah.